Yes, boys, if you're in high school right now, your growth plates are still open, you have the most amount of possible testosterone to produce ever in your life right at this moment. So you want to optimize your health to make sure that you can greatly increase your chances of growing taller, of building the most amount of muscle, of having the best skin, of having the best genetics, just optimizing your genetics essentially. You want to achieve your genetic potential. So I've got a list of steps that you can take to make sure that you optimize it. First of all, I want you to be eating at least 4 eggs every single day. I did a whole video on why eggs are so important. Eggs have a ton of cholesterol, which is good. Lots of people say, oh my God, cholesterol is so bad. But cholesterol is the precursor to a lot of your hormones. For example, testosterone. So if you don't have high cholesterol, then you can't have high testosterone. And obviously you want to increase your testosterone as much as possible while you're still growing, because that'll keep your growth plates open. It'll make sure that all your muscles get fueled in the correct ways. Testosterone is so unbelievably important. Sounds cringe because there's so many YouTubers like, oh my God, how to increase testosterone. But if you just have higher cholesterol, which is a good thing, and of the correct cholesterol, which is in eggs, then you will have high testosterone. Second of all, red meat. So this basically goes against what everybody says, you know, like the food pyramid and everything, like, oh, avoid red meat but eat a ton of sugar. Red meat is very important. It's what we've been eating for hundreds of thousands of years as Homo sapiens, and millions of years as sapiens in general. It's what we would eat if we were in the wild. If I put you in like a random forest or something, you'd eat maybe like some berries that weren't poisonous, you'd eat some nuts that weren't poisonous. Eventually you would know that you'd have to eat either fish for food, which is meat, I know it's fish but it's meat, or you would have to kill an animal, you know, like a pig or a boar or something. You know that you would have to eat some meat at some point to survive. It's just logic. So we need to eat a ton of red meat. Red meat has every single nutrient that you could possibly need. Forget your vegetables, forget your fruit. You don't need anything, you just need red meat. If you just ate beef mince for the rest of your life, you would be 1,000,000 times more healthy than most people in your class, in your school, in your family, everything. Because it has everything you need. And so there are 26 essential and beneficial vitamins and minerals in meat that you can't get anywhere else. Things like vitamin A, the correct form, you can't get it from carrots, that's beta carotene. You can't convert it correctly. You need the correct form of vitamin A. Vitamin A, vitamin B3, vitamin B12, vitamin B6, you've got taurine, creatine, carnosine, there's so many, there's 26. There's like everything you need perfectly in the perfect quantities in meat. So we need to be eating a ton of meat because without it we can't grow muscles correctly, we don't have the correct vitamins for our brain development, we don't have anything. We need these things, DHA, EPA, you get them in eggs as well. You need that for the development of your brain. So unless you want to be stupid when you're older, make sure you're eating a ton of meat. Also, it's got a ton of calories if you're trying to bulk, and it's got a ton of protein in the most bioavailable source possible. So red meat is just insane. It's what I eat every single day, and my blood pressure is perfect. All my like health indicators are perfect. So anecdotally it's worked for me, and scientifically and logically it'll work for you. So try it out. Now this is a very interesting one. Raw milk. You may not have tried raw milk before. It's just the same as normal milk. Essentially, the only difference between raw milk and store-bought milk is that store-bought milk is processed milk. It's essentially a processed food. And we don't want that, we want whole foods. So getting raw milk is essentially just like unprocessed milk, which is a good thing. Anecdotally, I drank raw milk for ages. I drank it for months and months and months, never had an issue. The problem with regular milk is it's pasteurized. And when it's pasteurized, it's heated up, and that destroys a ton of the nutrition within the milk. And obviously you want the nutrition from the milk. Sure, it's got protein, sure, it's got fats, but if you don't have the nutrition, then it's kind of pointless. We want to optimize for nutrition if we are optimizing for your puberty, growth, mastery, I don't know what to call it. If you want to optimize your puberty, you want to optimize your nutrition, and you get that from raw milk. Also, it spikes IGF-1, it's essentially growth hormone, and that is the point of milk in general, right? Milk is the point of milk is to grow an infant. So if you want to grow, then drink a ton of raw milk. I don't really believe in studies, but there was this like massive study done, and essentially it said that people who drank raw milk at a young age grew taller than everybody else when they were older. And you shouldn't be drinking raw milk or just like milk in general after your like growth plates close, after you finish puberty, that type of thing. When you like, if you get like 21 and older, that's when you don't really need to drink it. But before that, it's a very good idea, and I would recommend it. Just go to like a local farm or something. They usually have raw milk that you can buy just from a good supplier. Now, you don't need to take any pills on this diet. You don't need to take any multivitamins. I took one before and it was horrible. It tasted like, I don't know, it just tasted disgusting. When you get like a visceral reaction of how bad it was. You don't need a pill that some like pharmaceutical has made. What you need is liver. Beef liver, that is your multivitamin that you can take. Taste amazing. Like, lots of people say that it doesn't taste good and that's why it's so cheap. I was literally in awe of how cheap it was. I went to the shop and I was like, what the hell, it's so cheap. Gonna get me some of that. I think it tastes great. Some people don't like it. I personally love it. The amount of vitamin A in liver, some people eat too much liver and get vitamin A toxicity because they overdose on vitamin A. That's how much it's got. It's got like 100 times more than a carrot. It's got a ridiculous amount. So you don't need to eat a ton of it. Literally just like a couple of, about that much every week or something. That is amazing for you. Absolutely amazing. Your eyesight will just be, it'll be like a hawk because of how much vitamin A you're getting. Cardio. Cardio is the next thing. It's a massive thing. Lots of people neglect cardio, but it's what we used to do in the wild all the time. Essentially, we just want to go back to like the caveman times. What were they doing? Just do what they do. They were eating a ton of animals. They were eating like megafauna, like they were eating bison, boar, and like the mammoths and everything. We just want to eat red meat, essentially. Also, cardio, they would run after things. They would do a little bit of sprinting here and there. They would do a little bit of jogging. They'd like jog, and we couldn't really sprint faster than most animals. So we would just jog until they got tired and then we'd kill them with like a spear or something. So cardio, we need to be doing that. We need to be keeping that up. What I like to do at the moment is I get like a PDF. I download a book on my phone, go to the gym, go on the treadmill, put it right in front of me, and I literally just read as I do like some incline treadmill walking, then I do some running, then I do some sprint, that type of thing. And you get to read a book at the same time, and I don't really focus on the cardio. I'm just focusing on the book, and then I'm like, oh, I've done half an hour of cardio already. It's fantastic. That's what's currently working for me. You could try it out yourself, or you could just go for a run. I just find that I don't stay very consistent with that. So that is what has worked for me. But keeping your cardio up is so important, even if it's just sports, playing football, playing tennis, rugby, whatever it may be. Just as long as you are getting your cardio in 10,000 steps a day, minimum, absolutely minimum. Sunlight is the next thing. You need sunlight, even if you're in the UK. I don't get enough sunlight anymore. But when I was in the US, I built up an insane tan. I was literally out in like 30-degree UV 11 weather every single day, and I have never felt better. My skin completely cleared up of acne. I've always struggled with acne. Completely gone. You don't need any cream to rub on your face to get rid of acne. You just need sunlight. If you live in America, you'll probably have a tan already, but you need to just be outside because it's so amazing. You don't need vitamin D tablets. Essentially, vitamin D just like synthesizes the sun's UV rays, and you can use it as vitamin. It's amazing. So if you get the vitamin D from the meat that you were eating, from the eggs, from the milk, everything, then go outside. You'll be in the best like physical. Like your skin will be just glowing. It was amazing. I literally came back and I was like, oh my God, everyone's so pasty white over here in England. And it's crazy. So it's very hard in England to get sunlight, but I need to do this as well. I'm not perfect with it. Spend more time outside. Even if the sun isn't directly out, you can still have a ton of sunlight. The sunlight is as long as it's bright outside, there is sun outside. So just spend as much time outside as possible. You get all the fresh air. You can probably do some cardio while you're doing that, whatever you want to do. Play some football, and you're getting a ton of sunlight as well. And the final thing is weightlifting. So going to the gym. That's what has given me the most amount of confidence. That's what got me into this. I find that people who start the gym sort of start a lot of other things, like the self-improvement space. As soon as you start weightlifting, then you tend to start trying to eat healthy or trying to grow a business. It's just like a good precursor to a lot of things, right? So weightlifting, it will not stunt your growth. It will not. It made me grow more because when you're lifting these weights, your muscles are growing bigger, and so essentially you just grow bigger. Now, it is quite stressful on your body, which is just a thing that we didn't really used to do, but I find that the return on investment is way better because, you get like a bigger frame and everything. You just look a lot more masculine. I know that's like super cringe, but it has helped me with my confidence like crazy. So if you combine that with things like raw milk to get the IGF-1 boost, you get all of the growth hormone, you grow bigger, you grow stronger, you'll be in tip-top shape. So that is exactly what you need to do to optimize this time that you're in puberty. If you've got any questions, then just drop them down in the comments and I'll reply to them. Or you can go to my school community, the Elites, which is the first link in the description, and I will reply to you there. I've got a ton of courses going into this in like super intense detail, like raw A2 dairy, what's the difference between casein proteins and bioavailability, loads of different things. Just all the nutritional information that you could possibly think of is in there, and I will be essentially your coach in there as well. I've also got this app that I'm developing called Elite Labs, and it's essentially like an all-in-one fitness app that combines things like tracking your calories, tracking your lifts at the gym, your habits, meditation, everything. It's like an all-in-one thing because there's just so many apps these days, you know what I mean, for fitness. So I just combine them all into one, and that is in my school community as well. If you join that, then you get access to my app. So please eat more animal foods. I will see you over there. Good night.